And I know, obviously there's a lot to think about and many different ways that you can modernize. And I'm curious, John, how should insurers decide whether they should build technology in-house, partner with an InsurTech provider, or take sort of a hybrid approach? And what factors should they consider in those decisions?
Great question. So I think if there's a piece of technology that's like really central to what you do, it's sort of strategic, then you probably want to build that in-house so that you can tailor it to exactly the way you want. But building something from scratch obviously takes time. And if you don't have a lot of the expertise in-house, it can also be very expensive. So it's really important to ask, is this strategic, a differentiator, and is it worth the investment? I think for a lot of tech, everything from digital quotes to claims automation, anything that impacts the customer experience, that oftentimes partnering with an InsurTech provider will provide, faster speed to market, and also give you sort of expertise that's been leveraged across multiple companies throughout the industry. So again, it's probably the better solution in many of those cases. It'll be faster to implementation as well. But I think for most insurers, there's going to end up being a hybrid approach. That's the best route. The essential things you build in-house, everything else, you work with a reputable partner. And one thing I would say, especially as it comes to AI, things that have intellectual capital involved, if you end up working with a third party, I think it's important to work with one that it's white box, where you still kind of own the IP. If you ever do decide you need to move from that provider to another, you're not only leaving the software, but you're leaving all the IP behind. To me, that's something that you definitely want to avoid. So as you're, making the decision, I would consider how fast does it need to happen, right? If it has to happen quickly, probably more likely to want to work with a third party. Do you have the resources in-house, the right team, and the right culture, as Bernadette mentioned? Then that can impact your decision. How big of an impact is it going to have on your customers? And is it strategic? And I think that if it's competitive and strategic, then even if you really want it quickly, it may make sense to take the time to build it in-house.